In a world where the seas are ruled by strength and ambition, the pirate crews of One Piece stand out as the true giants of power and influence. In the most dangerous sea, the New World, the four emperors reign supreme, leading crews that challenge the Marines, the world government, and even destiny itself in pursuit of their dreams and treasures. Among them, only one pirate crew has managed to reach the island of Laugh Tale, the Roger Pirates. However, despite their legendary strength, you might be shocked to learn that the Roger Pirates may not have been the most powerful crew of their era. Today, we'll dive into the stories, feats, and secrets of the most powerful pirate crews in the world of One Piece. Crews that shaped the world and paved the way for the great pirate era. Which one is truly the strongest? That's what we're going to find out in today's video, but before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button and join my crew by subscribing and ringing the bell so we can reach 1,000 subscribers and monetize this channel. Now, let's set sail on our adventure. Among the many pirate crews in the world of One Piece, the most notable are those of the Emperors. And the first crew we'll talk about is the Buggy Pirates. Yes, Buggy, known as the Immortal, and a living legend of the Roger Pirates, recently became a YONKO with a bounty of precisely 3,189,000,000 berries. I know what I'm about to say might shock you, but the truth needs to be told. Buggy isn't actually that strong. In fact, not only him but his entire crew is made up of weaklings. However, don't be fooled. Buggy also earned his title as a YONKO. First, during the time skip, Buggy founded his new enterprise called Buggy's Delivery. This delivery service had nothing to do with pizza or anything like that, despite how the name might sound. Instead, Buggy sent powerful pirates and warriors to fight in third-party wars in exchange for money. After the fall of Doflamingo, a major figure in the New World's illegal market, Buggy's Delivery gained even more ground, seizing the opportunity. Everything seemed fine until Crocodile appeared to collect the debt Buggy owed him. The truth is, Buggy was only able to start his business thanks to the money Crocodile lent him, and now the former leader of the disbanded Baroque Works decided it was time to collect. However, things turned out surprisingly well for Buggy, as he managed to form an alliance with Crocodile, who has a bounty of 1,965,000,000 berries, and Dracula Mihawk, who boasts a bounty of 3,590,000,000 berries, thus forming the famous Cross Guild. Like the Pirate King himself, this crew has everything it needs to find the One Piece. Crocodile has the wealth, Buggy has the fame, and Mihawk has the power. This organization, led by these three former warlords, began issuing bounties on the heads of Marines, causing a major shift in the balance of power that governs the world of One Piece. Buggy literally leveled the playing field. After Buggy's public declaration to the world that he has always dreamed of finding the One Piece and becoming the Pirate King, the Cross Guild joins the battle for the throne. Thus, with the Cross Guild formed and Buggy recognized as the leader of this empire in the eyes of the world, it's only fair to include him on this list as one of the greatest pirate crews in the history of One Piece. The second pirate crew we'll discuss in this video is the Big Mom Pirates. Led by Charlotte Linlin, this crew ruled over a significant portion of the New World for many years. With her soul fruit, Big Mom developed an array of tools to enhance both her own strength and the might of her empire. In battle, Big Mom could extract the souls of her enemies, imbue fragments of her own soul into inanimate objects to bring them to life, like her homies, which provided support during fights, her ship Queen Mama Chanter, and even the OC in itself. She could also regenerate parts of her body and even sacrifice years of her lifespan in exchange for an immediate boost in power. The woman was an unstoppable force. Big Mom also implemented a soul tax system on her citizens, requiring them to surrender 1 month of their lifespan every 6 months, or leave the island altogether. These soul fragments were collected by her incarnations and spread throughout Totoland, where they were inserted into random objects or animals to create new homies, essentially bringing the entire country to life. What amazes me most about the empire Big Mom built is her defense system. She controlled a cluster of islands, and this entire archipelago was monitored by underwater sea slugs that sent alerts in the event of an invasion. The complexity of this system was so advanced that even the forests on the islands acted as a defensive force against intruders. It's mind-blowing how meticulously this system was designed and developed by Big Mom, primarily using the powers of her Akuma no Mi. In addition to her immense strength, Big Mom expanded her empire by giving birth to dozens of children to bolster her military power and influence influence across the world. She had a total of 85 children, some of whom served as key fighters in her crew, known as the Sweet General. After Big Mom's defeat in Wano, Whole Cake Island remains under the control of the rest of her family, still safeguarding one of the 4 road poneglyphs, which was possibly stolen from Elbaph. However, much of the global significance that this pirate crew once held has diminished with the fall of their captain, at least until she makes her inevitable return in the near future. The third pirate crew we'll discuss is the Beasts Pirates. Kaido, another emperor from the old generation, was born with a blessed genetic heritage. With the blood of the world's ancient giants coursing through his veins, Kaido didn't even identify as human. He called himself an ogre. This contributed to his later reputation as the strongest creature alive, and after Whitebeard's death, he was regarded as the strongest pirate in the world, with a staggering bounty of 4.6 billion berries. In his youth, Kaido served as an apprentice with the Rock Pirates, under the mentorship of none other than Big Mom. Like her, after the crew's fall and dissolution, Kaido chose to pursue a solo career in piracy. He was captured multiple times by the Marines, subjected to experiments by the world government, until one day he met Albur, a young Lunarian who had also been imprisoned and experimented on by the government. Together, these two were the first members of the Beast Pirates. Years later, Kaido took over the country of Wano, turning it into his territory after overthrowing the Kozuki family in a coup alongside Orochi Kurozumi. Just as Kaido was being shaped by chaos and war, the organizational structure of his empire mirrored this philosophy. Only the strongest could rise to the top, while the weak were demoted within the crew's hierarchy. Kaido didn't rely on a massive fleet, numerous allies, or a complex system of power. Instead, he maintained only what was necessary to stay on top. Perhaps his most ambitious endeavor was investing in the production of artificial devil fruits to create an army of Zoan-enhanced monsters. Moreover, making the isolated country of Wano the base of his empire gave him an unparalleled territorial advantage. The nation was a natural fortress protected by the towering cliffs surrounding it. In the end, Kaido was a simple man who relied on sheer physical power, renowned for his ability to win one-on-one battles against almost any opponent. These few yet formidable elements were enough to establish him as one of the 4 emperors of the sea. The fourth pirate crew we're going to talk about is the infamous Blackbeard Pirates. Marshal D. Teach is the mastermind behind recruiting numerous prisoners from level 6 of Impel Down to join his crew. During the time skip, they took control of many territories formerly ruled by Whitebeard. After utterly crushing the remnants of Whitebeard's crew, Blackbeard was officially recognized as one of the 4 emperors. Blackbeard possesses extensive knowledge of devil fruits, having memorized the entire encyclopedia of cataloged fruits. Using this wealth of information, he began a devil fruit hunt during the time skip, ensuring that all the main members of his crew obtained incredibly powerful ability. Blackbeard's main base of operations is Hachinosu, the pirate island. His goal is to have this island recognized as a legitimate kingdom by the government. This would make Blackbeard a recognized king, granting him access to the Holy Land of Mariajois and bringing him one step closer to the empty throne. It's worth noting that the Blackbeard pirates have openly revealed their true ambition to conquer the world. And now, with the marine hero Monkey D. Garp as their prisoner, the Blackbeard pirates may have the perfect bargaining chip to advance their plan. Additionally, Blackbeard is on the verge of uncovering the locations of 2 ancient weapons: Poseidon, located on Fishman Island, and Pluton, the warship hidden in the land of Wano. If the Blackbeard pirates manage to seize these weapons of mass destruction, their path to total world domination would become almost inevitable. Among the emperors, we also must mention the Straw Hat Pirates, of course. Luffy, now one of the Yonko with a bounty of 3 billion berries, undoubtedly deserves recognition in this list. Luffy is backed by incredibly strong fighters such as Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei, all of whom have bounties exceeding 1 billion berries, comparable to the commanders of other Yonko crews around the world. Zoro defeated King, and Sanji defeated Queen, the 2 strongest members of the Beasts Pirates. Meanwhile, Luffy himself was the primary force behind the downfall of the former emperor Kaido. In fact, Luffy's entire crew is composed of exceptional individuals. Jinbei is an unparalleled helmsman, Nami is an expert navigator, and Chopper is a highly skilled doctor. Moreover, Luffy has a remarkable ability to forge alliances wherever he goes. In Dressrosa, he established his own grand fleet, amassing a total of 5,000 followers. He allied with the land of Wano, which holds one of the 3 ancient weapons. The same is true for Fishman Island, another territory possessing one of these weapons, and even Alabasta, a kingdom that has stood as a world world power for over 5,000 years. In other words, the more Luffy and his crew venture across the world, the more allies they gain along the way. It's only a matter of time before Luffy fulfills his destiny and becomes the Pirate King. The sixth pirate crew we're going to discuss is the Red-Haired Pirates. Led by Shanks, this crew is considered an impenetrable human fortress, with an exceptionally high average bounty, even though the exact numbers remain unknown at the time of this recording. What stands out the most about this is that the Red-Haired Pirates don't typically cause terror across the world, yet their bounties are incredibly high. This alone speaks volumes about their strength. However, don't be fooled. Despite their friendly and laid-back appearance, this crew can be ruthless when threatened, as seen when they annihilated Kid's pirates and shortly after Bartolomeo's pirates. Another intriguing aspect of this crew is that none of its members appear to possess devil fruit powers. Of course, we haven't seen them go all out in battle yet, but this detail might not be a coincidence. If Shanks is already aware that the world is on the brink of sinking into the ocean, as hinted by Vegapunk, it's plausible that he deliberately avoided eating a devil fruit, knowing that swimming might become an essential skill in the near future. This philosophy could also extend to his crew. While pirates like Kaido and Blackbeard actively encourage their members to acquire devil fruit powers, Shanks seems to take the opposite approach, ensuring his crew doesn't rely on such ability. As for the crew's captain, Shanks is an exceptionally talented individual, often seen as a reflection of his former captain Roger, both in personality and combat abilities. Additionally, part of Shanks' power and influence stems from his likely lineage as a celestial dragon. As a probable member of the Figureland family, Shanks is a pirate who wields direct influence over decisions made by the Marines and the world government. Beyond his political ties, the red-haired pirates command thousands of subordinates, allies, and territories around the world, much like other Yonko crews. Perhaps Shanks' greatest ally is none other than Elbaph, the most powerful kingdom in the world. Following the defeat and imprisonment of Prince Loki, likely by Shanks himself, the kingdom became one of his most significant allies. To give you an idea of Elbaph's strength, Big Mom once claimed that, had she secured the kingdom as an ally, she could have overpowered Kaido, Shanks, and even Whitebeard. Yet, in the end, Elbaph aligned itself with Shanks. We still have much to see from this crew, which we've followed since the very first chapter of the manga. But one thing is certain, as Shanks himself declared, the time has come for them to join the race to claim the One Piece. Among the emperors, though one who no longer exists, we must talk about the Whitebeard Pirates. This crew was led by the world's strongest man, Edward Newgate, also known as Whitebeard. As a user of the Tremor fruit, Whitebeard possessed the power to destroy the entire world, a key factor in earning his title as the strongest man alive. It's worth noting Big Mom's comment when she said that if she had Elbaph as an ally, she could have overrun Kaido, Shanks, and even Whitebeard. Her emphasis on Whitebeard further highlights his unparalleled strength. At his peak, Whitebeard faced the future pirate king Gul D. Roger in an epic battle between their crews that lasted 3 days and ended in a virtual stalemate. With his charisma, Whitebeard gathered a massive following under his name, with many referring to him as Father. His crew was organized into 16 divisions, each led by a commander, and was bolstered by 46 allied pirate crews as part of his fleet. Whitebeard was arguably the first to solidify himself as an emperor, and his empire only crumbled decades later during the Marineford War, which brought together a vast portion of the Marines and the world government's forces. Whitebeard himself was the centerpiece of this historic conflict. Here's an important disclaimer to clarify something. The order of the crews listed in this video doesn't necessarily reflect their relative power levels. All the Yonko governed parts of the New World in a precariously balanced equilibrium. Even if one crew was slightly stronger than the other, any attempt by the strongest to defeat the weakest would leave the victor so weakened that they'd be vulnerable to being overtaken by the remaining 2 emperors. So debating which Yonko crew is stronger than another is ultimately pointless when considering this broader perspective. Maybe I should have said this at the start of the video. By now there are probably tons of comments arguing over this ranking. Sorry about that. Moving on to other legendary pirates of the old era, let's discuss the Golden Lion Pirates, led by Shiki. During their battle against the Roger Pirates, we witnessed the scale of Shiki's immense fleet of allied ships, which surrounded the Oro Jackson. However, without a doubt, Shiki himself was the key figure behind the relentless pursuit of Roger. Official materials describe Shiki as having a power level comparable to Roger, and that's no exaggeration. exaggeration. Shiki is the user of the Float fruit, one of the most overpowered and troublesome abilities in the series. To give you an idea, this fruit's potential was the reason Oda hesitated to include Shiki in the main story, though hope dies last. With this power, Shiki can levitate any inanimate object with just a touch. This includes countless warships, his own flagship, various islands forming his personal archipelago, and even massive amounts of water, earth, or snow, which he uses in combat. The man was an absolute monster. It's no wonder that during the Ed War, the narrator described the battle as a lost cause for the Roger pirates, if not for the sudden storm that saved them from annihilation. Shortly after, it took both Garp and Sengoku teaming up to defeat and capture this titan. After Roger's execution, Shiki launched his 20-year plan into action. Through science, he created genetically modified, immensely powerful mutant animals. His scheme was eerily similar to Kaido's plan of expanding his army with animal-based devil fruit users. Shiki undoubtedly would have become one of the 4 emperors alongside Whitebeard had he not chosen to vanish from the spotlight for 2 decades. Unfortunately, Shiki's ambitions were thwarted by Luffy during the movie Strong World. However, being a canonical character in the main story, there's always a chance for the flying pirates to make a comeback if they aren't already plotting their return. Now, if there's one crew that doesn't fit into the system that began with the pirate era, it's the Roger Pirates. This legendary crew achieved everything the world has to offer: wealth, fame, and power. They reached Laugh Tale, the island beyond the end of the Grand Line. Upon their arrival, Roger and his crew uncovered the truth about the world's history and found the legendary treasure, the One Piece. What's fascinating about Roger's story is that his journey to find the legendary treasure unfolded in 2 major chapters. At 25 years old, we saw a young Roger meeting Rayleigh and asking him to turn the world upside down together. At 38, Roger and his crew reached the final charted island of the Grand Line Roadstar. However, it was near his 50s that Roger, upon learning of his terminal illness, embarked on his final journey to discover the island beyond the end. Much like Luffy, Roger made countless friends and allies during his journey as a pirate. However, he declared that he had no interest in ruling or conquering anything for himself. This set him apart from the YONKO, who would rise in the years to come. Unlike them, Roger didn't build an empire around him. It's also worth mentioning how the Roger pirates discovered the location of at least one of the 3 ancient weapons, which would have given them a massive advantage if they had any desire for world domination. In the end, the Roger pirates remained the only crew in 800 years to find the legendary One Piece. However, there's yet another crew that must be mentioned, one that predates the very start of the pirate era by far: the Rocks Pirates. Led by Rocks D. Xebec, this crew was the largest and most fearsome pirate group of its time, roughly 40 years ago, gathering many of the most prominent figures in piracy under one banner: Whitebeard, likely Xebec's right-hand man; Shiki, the Golden Lion; Charlotte Linlin in her youth; Kaido, back when he was merely an apprentice; Gloriosa, the former empress of Amazon Lily, and other notable names still remembered to this day. But how did Xebec manage to bring together what could only be described as the miracle generation of piracy? The most plausible explanation lies in the Davy Back fight. Remember that? Through various competitive games, pirates wagered members of their own crews. It's likely that Xebec used this method to recruit so many renowned pirates into his ranks. As for the captain himself, Sengoku described Rocks D. Xebec as the most formidable enemy Roger ever faced. In fact, it took an unprecedented alliance between the Roger pirates, the Marines, and the world government to eliminate this threat. While it's known that Xebec is no longer in this world, that doesn't necessarily mean he's truly dead. Who knows? Perhaps one day we'll uncover where he's been hiding all these years. And with that, we've come to the end of our list. I didn't want to rank one crew above another since most of them exist in a balance of power. This video was more about highlighting the unique qualities of each crew and what makes them stand out at the top of the world. If you've made it this far, enjoyed the video, and haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to leave a like, check your subscription below so you won't miss the next videos. And if you missed my recent video discussing all 13D clan members in One Piece, just click on the video that's popping up on your screen right now.